They very much hog the spotlight, and they make it seem like I only have the two. Hello, even though there's two of them. Hello, everyone. It is Friday, which means it's time for another Paint and Slay. I am V, and above me is Lauren, and this week we're going to be having some fun. We might actually have the sighting. He's braving it. Oh, look at his cotton. So,
hey, third kitty
has
been confirmed.
Kitty who never shows up.
All right, everybody in chat, say hi to Cotton.
Say hi to Cotton, because now he realizes he's on the screen. He's like, let me go. He's the one who knows. He's like, I don't want this.
People!
Uh-oh, what? People! That's so him.
I have been perceived.
Anyways, we're going to be having some fun. In honor of the great Modron March, we're going to be painting some,
Garwar in chat. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it works out.
Yep.
Bravo. Very good.
Amazing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I didn't want to get too far before calling that out, because that was brilliant.
That was honestly too funny.
Anyway,
so in honor of the great Modron March, we're going to be painting a quadrone and a pentadrone today. The funny thing is, I realized this morning that we've actually been working on a Modron lineup without even trying, because we actually have the others. So we can get the line of communication set up between these five.
Listen, I am here for doing the entire run of Modrons. I mean, is there a mechanist that we can get out there?
We could probably look into it. Yeah, I'll look into see if we get more of like the Modrons going, because this is just too much fun. But before we jump into continuing work on this quadrone and then working on the pentadrone, and I'm going to be thinking, wait, which drone am I talking about? I'm just going to start calling them the drones. We do have some fun things happening in the game, so I think we should start off with the really funnest one first.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to take a tiny little break for Modrons to talk about Dragonborn Daddy. Proud Papa Mahen, Skin and Feet Pack. I'm going to say this. Something like this was talked about months ago, and it made me so happy. So happy. And so to see it finally in action is amazing. The slippers. I want to cosplay as this.
I want Aaron to cosplay this. Are you kidding me?
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
I think it'd be so much fun. We gotta get the mug to Aaron. Gotta find like someone to do the shirt silk screened and the shorts.
Yep. Yeah. Like you wouldn't even have to do any of the Dragonborn stuff. No. Just have the shirt. Like it could be the casual cosplay at a convention. Right. You just need all of that. It's amazing. But the shirt is so good.
The shirt is everything.
This is available right now for purchase. It's absolutely amazing and adorable, and you should get it especially if you're a fan of Dragonborn like I am. Also, unintentionally, I have matched.
I think it's perfection. Dragonborn support. So moving on from there, but continuing on with really fun skins, we have a couple skins that you can find in the Thayan Enclave shop. So Nixie and Andreas both are getting cool skins.
That's the other thing is we're just ending up with lots of skins of Modrons, which is all sorts of fun. I think I just lost my internet for a second there. Am I okay?
Yeah, I was going to say you got a little slightly robotic.
Okay, am I back?
You're back. In honor of the Modrons, Lauren's gone mechanical.
Yep. So yeah, if you like Penelope, and I know I do, and if you like Penelope as a Modron, then you're gonna love Andreas and Nixie as Modrons. I mean, look at angry Nixie.
The fireball,
the eyebrows,
the gear fireball. Oh my gosh.
Yep. And
And
then
this just cracks me up, the one-man band Modron.
especially since it's so obviously just a cardboard box with a whole bunch of instruments on it, and you can see it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
So hey, if
Those
you're
are fun.
playing collect your corrupted gems, and those are 2 skins that you can pick up with corrupted gems if you would like, so that you can make Andreas and Nixie look like awesome Modrons. And there's awesome other fun things that you can pick up in the Thayan Enclave, including those support pigments, which are always cool. I suggest that you pick up at least a couple of them and put them all in Orkira.
There you go. And then, along with Antris and Nixie, finally we have Avandra in game. We have our 3 together. I'm so excited for that one.
Yes. Make sure you enjoy Avandra killing a man with another man.
I mean, yes, that sums it up. So yeah, so make sure you get in there, unlock Avandra. It's cool stuff. Get your 3 awful ones out in game in your formations and have some fun with it. For sure.
Absolutely. They're a great trio. They're super fun. And every time I set off Avandra's ultimate, it makes me happy.
It's amazing. It's just, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm not going to tell you anything about it, because that means you have to go in, log in, unlock, and find out for yourself. We'll just leave it at that. It is worth doing all of that for Avandra.
The stylish moment of slow-mo that happens to show off when it happens, it's gorgeous.
It's chef kiss. Chef kiss.
So good. Right. So good. All right. I think that is... Oh, no, we got the weekend to talk about.
It's the weekend.
Ta-da! Magical Transport Weekend, for those of you who are looking to get a whole bunch of stuff done this weekend and need a little bit of a help. Look, these 5 champions are here to help you. They've got a little bit of a boost in the stuff that they can do, and so stick them in your formation and do extra fun stuff. Put Tyrell in the front and let him turn into an animal and be the tank that you always knew he could be.
Yes.
Which is there's a skin that he has where when he turns into a star bear, and I can't remember which one it is, but that's the one that I have, and I love it so much.
Shoot, and I love that one too. And it's not the Spelljammer, right?
I don't remember. It may
be Spelljammer. I think it's a Spelljammer one.
Help. I don't have the game running for obvious reasons, but that's also one of my favorite skins of Tyrell is polymorphed
There
Tyrell.
We go.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Because I'm like, I can't remember what he looks like normally. I'm just so happy to see him as Star Bear.
They were pack antics, but Spelljammer themed. There's the connection now. There we go. Okay.
And Tyrell did turn into a space bear at one point. So in the game, it was fun. Thank you, Lurking Writer.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
All right. So that is, like I said, we had a lot of stuff. So that's that for in-game. Now we're going to go into tangentially in-game, because, you will obviously come across Modrons in the game. So guess what? We're going to have some fun with these. We're going to have additional fun with this one, because I'm going to nod to our fantastic awful ones. And we're going to do some cool colors of the plates on the Pentadrone. I'm calling them petals because they look like petals. So on these petals, the plates are going to get colors that nod to Nixie, Avandra, and Antreus. So that'll be something cool for this Pentadrone to make it a little bit more unique and very much tied to game. So to get started, we've already done some base colors on this guy, so he can sit to the side for now. We want to get our Beastie Brown back out, and we're basically painting the entire mini, base included, with the Beastie Brown.
Ooh,
so we're going to get base color in here to kind of start things off.
Starting off with a lot of Beastie Brown.
We are. But the thing is this is going to be nice, because as this is drying all of its Beastie Brown, we can go back to the Quadrone and get that touched up a little bit more in its colorations and details.
Oh yeah,
so there's a method to this madness today for sure.
You always have a method. I never doubt your method.
Method man.
I am gonna pull out a larger brush though.
Definitely you want a bigger brush. At least a number 1.
Yeah, I grabbed a number 1 and I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the Modron.
Nope, gonna go bigger.
I'm like, you know what? I got a number
big for
5.
The weekend.
Let's grab a 5. I haven't used my 5 in ever.
That's appropriate. You're using a penta brush for a Pentadrone.
It's a 6. I'm sorry. It is a 6. It's even bigger.
So it's a sept for a pent.
There you go.
Is it
right? And this needs a little more water.
Oh, definitely. I need to thin down my Beastie Brown. It came out toothpaste thick, so I'm shooting
Mm.
for my maple syrup consistency that I like. And I'm just gonna start from. Actually, I'm gonna paint underneath first, and then paint the outside because this has lots of. It almost looks like a little honeycomb thing underneath, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
got lots of little details underneath too.
And I did forget to say at the top, we have the amazing Gabe in chat with us today as our
Yay!
moderator. And Gabe is going to be grabbing questions from chat to pass along to us so that when we're in the middle of painting these lovely modrons, we don't miss a thing. I still need more water. Wow, this is really syrupy.
Thick and
And I
zesty.
did see that there was a question in there that I'm going to grab in just a second that is kind of excellent for right now when all we're doing is a coating of brown,
Brown.
because
Yep.
this is going to take a hot minute.
Uh huh.
Sir Luke 3323 says, so I finished Rivals of Waterdeep. Nice. And nearly done with Black Dice Society. Ooh, you are
Ooh, you're
churning
plugging
through
along.
some awesome shows. Where can I find Lauren's Orkira stream? That's a long question answer. And is Voronika in any other D&D streams? Why don't you go first with Voronika, because Orkira is complicated.
Voronika is based in Black Dice Society, and I've done special appearances with her for charity games. So we have a couple charity games floating around where Nika makes an appearance. One was with what was Wava, and of course I'm blanking on their new name right now. We just recently did one for
Oh,
them with B
yeah.
Dave and a whole bunch of us. It was a Dark Lords charity event, and it was stream rather, and it was so much fun to do. So there's that one, and then there's one that we did here on Idle Champion. So that should be up on our YouTube channel. The Idle
That's up
Champions
on
YouTube
the
channel.
Idle Champions
Yeah,
YouTube. Yep, that was Vecna Lives,
Vecna lives. So yeah,
which
that's I
sounds like a
think.
spoiler, but it's really not.
Yeah, I think those were all the other extra streams that Nika has been on. I do play her off screen, and I will be using her to run D&D in a Castle, the campaign that I'm creating for that. But yeah, she's not on any other streams at the moment.
Meanwhile, Orkira. Okay, so let me give the TLDR of Orkira. She's been on a couple of shows, most of them all in order, all with the same crew. It's just that the crew started as a group that were on the D&D Beyond channel, and then eventually moved to the Demiplane channel. And then Orkira has also done some long guest stints on other streams. So if you're looking for core Orkira, as in like where she started and all of that, there is a couple of streams, and this is going to be in order on the, like I said, the D&D Beyond. You'll find them on the YouTube channel. Starts with Heroes of the Veil, and then it turns into Beyond Heroes. And then there's a brief stint in where she shows up on a show called Silver and Steel. So that was kind of the initial start of everything. And that's many episodes. And then oh geez, at this point it's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then most of the Heroes of the Plains that you know from the game, all those characters, most of those were in that show with Orkira. And then we pretty much all hopped over to continue our story on Demiplane with a show called Heroes of the Plains. And that ran for a year and then came to a close at the end of the year. It was awesome. During all of that, I made a couple of guest appearances on a show called D4, which you can find from Elder Eye Entertainment on Twitch and YouTube. They're a group out of Atlanta that they play mostly in person, except for when the Panini is happening. And I did a couple of guest stints on there, and a couple of their players did guest stints with us. We had a bunch of crossovers, and for spoiler-filled reasons, Orkira had a fairly large impact on things that happened. And then that year that Heroes of the Plains was happening, Orkira was also a year-long guest on D4. And that was the stuff that was happening on D4 is canonically a year before the stuff happening on Heroes of the Plains. Okay, you got all that? That's all like the major stuff. So that's what happened, done. She then also appeared on Idol Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen, which you can find on our YouTube channel, and that was a 6-episode run. Yes, 6 episodes. The fantastic B. Dave Walters as the DM, with Aaron M. Evans as Havilar. No, it's Frida.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I'm like, wait, no, which one was she? She was both, technically.
She was both, yeah.
Yeah. Mark Meir as Baloth. Sharif Jackson as Shaka from Rivals of Waterdeep. Yeah. Desmond, as played by DJ Knight from Black Dice Society.
Yep.
A little later in the show, you also get, and this is kind of not really a spoiler because you'll see, but Tatiana from Black Dice Society also shows up. I'm forgetting people. At the very end, there's a special guest appearance in the last episode by Jeremy Crawford as Vi. I'm forgetting someone, and I feel real bad. I know I'm forgetting someone.
Wasn't Whittle in there?
No, not that one.
Or that was the one before. Oh. Anyway,
yeah, it's gonna bother me. It's gonna bother me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm forgetting someone, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I'm. Chat, help! Who else was in Court of the Raven Queen? I'm
living between so many iterations of that series now in my mind, where it's like, oh, yeah. I have to look at the list.
Yep. So that was 6 episodes there, and then she has. So currently, there is a show on the Dungeon Scrawlers. There we go. So many names. I warned you this was going to be a trip. On the Dungeon Scrawlers channel, there is a show that is currently going on, but it's every other week. And it is a 6-episode run of a show called Adventurer's Guide to the Multiverse. And that is DM'd by our very own Trevor Bettis. And that we are on our final episode. So that hasn't happened yet. So you still have some time to catch up on the YouTube if you'd like. And so that's where she currently is. Although, like I said, there's one more episode and then that is done. Like at this point, she basically is one of the characters that just shows up in a bunch of places. So yeah, that is the whole run of Orkira. There is a very good chance she's going to be showing back up on D4 soon. And I won't say why. And that's it. That is her entire run. Thank you for listening. Good night.
There's a wiki for that. No, I'm kidding.
So on my website, I try to keep track of all the appearances that I've had, and it's both TTRPG and music stuff. And I have the listing of like, hey, I play this character, and you can find her. Here's the past, and then here's where you can currently find her. And every time I add to it, I'm like, well, I got to format this better. Yeah. This has just turned into the longest. I mean, I'm not complaining. I am incredibly blessed to be able to play a character I love in a bunch of different places with a bunch of different DMs. But yes, I hope that answers your question. But yeah, Black Dice Society was awesome. And I'm not a horror person usually, but yeah, that was super good. Rivals of Waterdeep is amazing. It's sad that it's ending. So yeah, those streams that Orkira was on will keep you busy for a while. And yeah, let us know if you've got, if you're trying to churn through streams that have current champions on them, there's tons of awesome streams that you can take a look at. Especially just recently, it was, right now is the One for All group, the Awful Ones. That's those champions
those
are from
so much fun.
Yeah.
And High Rollers, the Heroes of Erois, that's another great one. That's coming to a close soon.
One of their recent campaign is coming to a close, but those champions are in the game, and a couple of them just showed up on the most recent Idle Champions Presents.
You also have the Ox Ventures.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yep, that's still ongoing, and I think they're like in the
Oh, they're
middle of
doing
their
so much. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and they're doing live performances, so that's super
Yeah.
cool. So they may be showing up at a convention near you.
Do, do, do.
But yeah, check out
Yeah.
usually the affiliation in the game will give you an idea of if it's a stream, if it's a champion that comes from a streamed show, the affiliation name is usually the name of the
The
show,
stream show. Yeah. It helps.
which helps a lot. So plenty of stuff.
Yeah.
And lovely people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, getting under these pedals has been a challenge.
So I'm glad I did them first because that just was fussy.
Oh, Sir Luke says, I plan on finding all the ICP episodes and watching them. First ICPs were the ones Kent and Virgil got added to in the game. Yeah. Oh, the ones that they were on. Not Fury of the Black Rose. It was before that.
Hunger of the Far Realm.
Hunger of the Far Realms. Yeah. Such a oof. That cast. I mean, all of our ICP casts have gotten along really well, but that one in specific gelled real fast.
They did. Yeah.
That's a super fun one.
That was a lightning in a bottle situation in terms of how quickly they just like went off and did.
Yeah. I think it helped that it was essentially two groups. That it was it was a trio who all knew each other, and it was a duo who knew each other, and so it was less about everybody has to introduce themselves to everybody, and more just like, all right, we're bringing these two groups together. I think that's also why Fury of the Black Rose had a similar type vibe, because there was a couple of pairings in there, and it was super good.
It was fun though. They're all fun, and they all have like their own unique little bits that make them memorable, for me at least.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, if you go to the Idol Champions YouTube, because we have two different YouTubes, because we got to be confusing like that. But if you go to the Idol Champions YouTube, there's a playlist that is all of the D&D streams that we do, and then there are separate playlists for those ICPs. So you can watch from the very beginning and just leave it on and go and have fun, or you can grab certain streams and kind of pick and choose.
Yep.
Goodness. And that one shot that we did, the Vecna Lives, is still one of my favorite one shots ever.
That was so much fun.
That was another stream where it was only a one shot, but the bunch of us got along real well.
And away we go.
There's something about everybody being wisdom-based characters in some way. We all just gelled.
Well, and plus the setting and being wisdom-based characters are like, yeah, you're not going to fool us.
Yeah. And because it was a one-shot, and also just the nature of our characters, we just all kind of got along well right away. And there was reasons why we all knew each other right at the beginning. And then you were all just awesome to play with. So it was an absolute joy.
It was really a lot of fun.
And Erin is a fantastic DM. I know she gets...
Oh my gosh.
She was super nervous because she doesn't do a lot of DMing, but she was...
so clever.
Yeah.
Really clever takes on how to present stuff and kind of get you thinking and playing. I thoroughly enjoy her style.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, surprise, a professional author has come up with great stories. But also, like, her
delivery.
Ability as a DM... especially her yes-anding was super fun. So
worked out really well.
All right, I'm on the last pedal, and then I got to do the bass.
There you go.
So
I think I'm good, but I'm also doing the let it dry and see if I have. Yeah, like I can already see one.
Yeah,
it's the let it dry and find the spots that aren't actually reflections.
Yep, especially the ones on the underside. Those are a little hard to see.
Kind of sneak up.
All right,
right there.
Okay, I'm gonna start on the bass, and that's probably gonna be.
That's all you get.
That's
all you get, folks.
Geronthonus wants to know, I put a familiar on the bar above the ultimates, and I noticed that it takes a long time for it to click all of the active ultimates. What is the logic rule timing related to which ultimate gets clicked and when? I don't know all of these specific details, but it does have to do with, because all ultimates have a different amount of cooldown. And so obviously it's going to it's going to go after ones that are available. And then I believe it tries to go after ones that it hasn't clicked on recently. Now, if you have more than one familiar, you can put more than one familiar on the floating bar, or, because I know there's a lot of champions who have achievements tied to their ultimate, essentially. Like Avandra's achievement is to use her arm to basically to whack a person with the robotic arm that she takes, which is her ultimate. So you can put a familiar directly onto a specific ultimate, and it'll just sit there, and every time it'll just keep clicking until it goes off. So you've got a couple of options there. But there's not necessarily, at least as far as I know, there isn't anything more specific to who do they click on when than, hey, what's available and what hasn't been clicked in a while.
There you go. Who do where what when.
Exactly.
Ta-da!
Oh,
Okay.
nope, that's a spot. That's not wet. That's just a spot.
Yep, I played that game too. I think I'm going to do the
that.
camera check. The camera, for some reason, I can find them faster.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Camera's going to be like, ahem, this part. Ahem, over here.
And
just the faces on this are a riot, though.
Oh, yeah.
Each of the petals has a different face, so I'll spin it around so everyone can see. So you have this one, the oh what? And the humph. And the and the and the huh. And you go back to the. So yeah, it's funny. I like it.
I need to clip that.
Oh no.
That was beautiful, and I need to clip it, and I'm so happy.
This is how I explain the faces of a Pentadrone.
Exactly. It's very obvious. It'll be very obvious even in a clip what's going on.
Yes. Fully works out of context. The birds are chirping outside, and there is a lovely breeze coming through, and I'm sorry, I just want to go outside and frolic.
Intellectually, I'd like to go outside and frolic, but realistically, there is so much pollen in the air, and it's hot. And
that's just it. Like, the pollen is finally going down. It has been bad for us for like the past 3 weeks, and now I can actually survive. I haven't had Benadryl in 4 days, and that is an achievement. So I'm like, I can go back outside and it won't kill me.
Right? Just going outside sometimes has been a challenge.
Okay.
All right. I think I'm at the point.
You think you're at the point?
I think I'm at the point. I also almost just flicked water in a place, but I did not. Okay, I'm good. I'm at the point in where I'm not finding any more spots I have missed. Sweet. And I will, if there are more, I will find them as we go, because I'm at that point.
There you go. So we're going to go over to Elfic Flesh, and we're actually going to take this and we're going to dry brush the Quadrone with Elfic Flesh across everything, the feathers and the metal areas. Basically, the whole thing's getting this treatment.
This Chop wants to know, like, the game was really buggy, can't buy gold chests from the shop, can't open silver ones, can't use blacksmithing contracts for just a few things. Does anybody experience those same things?
That sounds like a ticket needs to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm hoping a couple people in chat can help with that, because I know there have been a couple of outages recently, but most of those were Steam related. I don't know of anything specific, and especially all of that you're talking about. Yeah. I would absolutely submit a ticket. If you are in the game, the bottom right-hand side, there should be a little blue question mark button that you can press on, and that will open up a website so that you can submit a ticket. That's usually the best way to do it, because then our team, basically it helps us get to your specific game and see what's going on.
Yeah.
There's also a website, or not website, an email you can go to if if for some reason you can't even open up the game. But it sounds like you can play. You're just having some problems with
It's a little glitchy.
yeah, but I highly recommend send us a message. Let us know what's going on, because it should not be doing any of that. I'm sorry. Oof. Especially with the event going on, not being able to use blacksmithing contracts.
Yeah.
You want to use as many of those as possible. Get Avandra all geared out.
So yeah, what this is going to do is this is kind of getting the next step going on the feathers to bring a little more detail out on them. But it's also helping enhance the edges and everything going on in the metal area, because what we'll do after this is we're going to go back over and we're going to dry brush with metallic. So it gets a fun metal look to it. No, that's the non-metal metal. Kind of like how we did with the one here a few while back.
I love those modrons. This came out so good.
They are so much fun. And these are great to show there's a whole bunch of different ways to paint metal and still get a metallic result.
Absolutely.
I just like doing this when there's the wings involved because it helps streamline them a little bit and really make the details pop at the same time. So it's giving our Pentadrone plenty of time to dry.
Yeah, I kind of like, just in general, having a second mini to go after, because
it's kind of how I paint when I'm not officially on stream. I'll have like a mini A, mini B, and kind of toggle between them. So if one mini is like, oh, I'm definitely at a point I need to be good and let it dry, because sometimes I'm not good about letting things dry because I'm so eager to move on to the next step. Having the secondary mini makes me, because then I'll focus on what that mini needs as opposed to focusing on I really want to paint that mini.
Yeah, I'm the same way. There's definitely been times in where I've gone after, I've gotten ready to do some dry brushing and I'm like, oh, nope, I can't. I'm not dry brushing, I'm just smearing. Oh, well.
Yep. It's a thing. It is absolutely a thing.
Okay, and I gotta do the wings. I started with the body because I wanted to get at all the nooks and crannies of this modron because it's super cool.
Yada, 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 yada. Yeah, it is. It's fun.
Geronathus also wants to know, is there a way to get a list of achievements that are Delana-based or any other champion? In the game, a list of them? I don't think we have. That's a really good idea, though. There's a place in where you can see achievements, and they're ordered by, you can see them all, or you can order them by, like, these are achievements that have to do with gold. These are achievements that have to do with events. These are achievements, that kind of thing. And you can look at them in a bunch of different ways. I don't think you can organize them by the type of champion, but that can also help if you're, because we've got over 100 champions in the game.
Oh, so, boy, howdy, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's probably the quickest way to, like, go through, is to look at, you know, real quick and see, oh, okay, I'm missing the achievement here. And I say real quick, it's not the quickest option, but at least you don't have to then individually click on every single champion. But that is a good idea. I can definitely pass that along. Yay, wings.
I'm winging it. I'm winging it. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
you're catching me on a Friday, and I've given myself a 4-day weekend, so my brain's just like, it's getting ready to celebrate good time. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been like this past week and this next week have been interesting, because this past Monday was a holiday in Canada, and this next Monday is a holiday in the United States. So there have been a lot of people who've been in and out at various times for various reasons.
Yeah.
But it's been good. Like next month, without spoiling anything, next month is going to be a very busy month, an exciting but busy month. And so, yeah, having an opportunity to get a little bit of downtime in before.
Yeah.
Lots of really fun things, but busy things happen, I'm
Exactly.
happy.
Plus, I'm trying to get ahead before I'm out for the castle stuff too, and everything like that, and
Yeah.
all that goodness. All right, so
All
I'm
castle
liking how
goodness.
this is starting to pull together with the details popping out.
Yeah, me too.
This is charming little fellow. So he looks a little chalky right now, but for good reason. We're gonna do some fun things with this to make him look a little bit more, on the metal side of things. Hello, Miss Thing. Really?
Hi, kitty. Which one's
She's
that?
looking at me like, Mother. It's Rory.
Ah, everyone say hi to Rory.
It's Rory. Oops. As I hit the camera, trying to keep her away from the camera. It all works
I mean, maybe
out.
this will be one of those blessed streams and where we get all of your cats eventually on stream. Not all together at the same time.
Hemi's in the window right now.
How much is that Hemi in the window?
How much is he's not for sale?
I mean, we also still have an hour and a half. There's plenty of time to get that third cat on stream and to have achieved the trifecta.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I think
and it's
I am
Rory, Rori, Looking Raider got it right.
Hey.
Sweet. So we're gonna set this one aside and let that one dry because we definitely want that to happen before we do anything else. So now we're gonna go back to this one, which hopefully all of these faces are dry.
How'd that
go again? Clearly, I am a Transformers child, so there's that.
I mean, we're doing modrons, so they're very appropriate noises.
Right? So we're going to go over to Bone White. We're going to thin that out, and we're actually going to paint the face. We're going to paint the faces basically from, I hate saying this, but like from the fleshy areas here. Mm-hmm. So we're going to paint it so that it is under the plate. So here you can see this is like the fleshy bit through here. Because here's a plate at the top of the head. And then here's the face, but stop under the chin because that's a new plate. This one is 2 plates, it looks like. 1, 2. Or no. This one you paint because you want to have it so it's 3 plates on top at all times is sort of the rule of thumb. So in this one you paint from below the eye and down to the chin.
Yeah, this one doesn't even really have an eye. It's like it's just got a visor with that third plate.
Yeah. So some of them have, because there's the reason I'm working with the 3 colors. So you basically want to make sure there's at least 1, 2, 3 at the top, and then paint down for the face in that open section around the lips. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, on the bottom at least has a very clear.
It does. Luckily, the chin is very, very, very clear.
And you said we're painting. This isn't.
It is thinning it out and then doing a thin layer. So it's okay if some of the brown is showing through. In fact, you kind of want that because then you get the mottled skin effect, which you kind of want.
But it's not dry brushing.
It's not dry brushing. No. It's sort of like taking a glaze and putting a glaze over the darker brown tone.
Okay.
Is what we're going for. And I'm probably going to use a number 1 brush. Fine detail.
Yeah, the faces are big enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. So yeah, this one is going to be.
Oh, is there a special paint that you use on fur to make it furry?
Like. Ooh. So it's actually fur-like?
I don't know, but I'm intrigued.
I'm gonna go with there isn't exactly a paint out there. See, there's terrain paints that have texture in them by nature, and there's some paints that make it look like it's grass or make it look like it's flocking type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally have not come across a paint that makes things furry. It's more the sculpture itself is sculpted to look like it's fur and playing that up more than anything else. Interesting.
Have we done anything that's furry?
Have we? Yeah. Haven't we?
Sorry, I'm looking at the ones I got displayed, trying to remember.
That's actually, now I'm wondering, have we done something that's furry?
Don't know.
Ooh. We might have to get some Oogaroo or werewolves in here.
Okay, I think we've got something coming up. I'm not gonna paint and slay. Let's look at the list.
The least.
That's nope. Okay,
Did we do a displacer beast, right?
the giant space hamster. That
There we
would
go.
have been
That
furry.
was fur. Yes.
Very, very short fur, but fur.
It was furry, yeah.
Nope, Orcura is not furry. The Outhouse Mimic is not furry. The Beholder was not furry. You did an owlbear with Trevor.
Right, but
that
was
would have
more
been furry.
feathery than it was slightly furry, but it was more feathery.
That's true.
I'll
That's
say that.
true. Froghemoth Mimic. We did do a displacer beast. So
Yeah.
that once again, like super, super tiny fur.
It doesn't have too much fur. It was more like a sleek beast than it was a furry beast, I will say that.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate way. Yeah, and that's it. Because the myconids wouldn't like
No.
they are mossy, but I wouldn't say
They
furry
aren't
at
furry.
all.
No,
Yeah.
they're definitely not.
All right, so we've done a couple, but they've all been short fur or,
Yeah.
you know, a little bit of fur, stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, I will keep that in mind that we need to kind of explore fur more.
Explore the fur.
Why does that sound weird? Explore fur more.
You know what? I'm here for it. Let's explore all the fur.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm trying to think of creatures that are in the game that are extra furry. Because that's the thing. Like, now that we know that we've done a couple of furred creatures, I want something with like real long fur. Yeah, like a yeti.
I mean, the manticore, that had, right?
Yeah.
That had some fur involved between the goat and the lion's mane.
True. Can we think of
but
something
like an
with
all
like
fur critter? Yeah.
Or long fur, you know, like
long fur.
Like you said, the displacer beast was technically completely furry, but it's so thin and sleek.
Yeah.
So yeah, a yeti could work.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we could do like a I'm looking at all my menus right now.
And yeah, if you got any suggestions in chat, you can put the question in big capital letters before your suggestion so that Gabe knows to grab it. Even though it's technically not a question, but a suggestion. But that'll work. So if you've got a suggestion for a furry creature, yeah, let us know. Because if it's a D&D creature, we've been a game long enough that there's a good chance it's in the game, unless it's like one of the most unless it's like something that just came out. Like even some of the Spelljammer stuff is in there. It's really just that Extra Life supplement that came out that has the monsters that they made with a bunch of kids.
Oh, with the kiddos, yeah.
Which are the best, and you should absolutely go get it. Not just because they're great monsters, but because it's a fabulous donation to charity. But also, those are some wicked monsters.
Yeah. Kids have fantastic imaginations.
Yeah. And when they were working with the designers, like a couple of those creatures, not only are they super creative and colorful and happy, but then they've got some awesome abilities. Like they are not just bags of hit points.
No. They're really well. They're thought out, and they're sweet, and they're cool, and they're clever, and it's just check it out, yo.
I mean, I can't wait to use that blueberry dragon the first opportunity I get. I mean, who doesn't want to attack people with blueberry damage?
Ding, 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 ding. It's damage you can hear.
Mm-hmm.
It's a combination of pings and splats.
But all delicious. All super
True.
delicious. Rosku Vika says you could paint a lion drake. Ooh.
They are.
Are they Fizbins? I think.
Yeah, but I don't think they're furry.
Oh.
They
I'd
look
have to
more
go look it up.
dragon-like. Yeah.
I have to go look it up. But it's a cool idea. Definitely want to look at.
Oh yeah.
Lurking Rider suggests Knolls, Shambling Mound. I see where you're going with the Shambling Mound. It's not technically furry, but I see where you're going with
fine. Yeah, that's fine work.
Tabaxi. And then you had mentioned, and Lurking Rider also mentioned, werewolves, werebears, bear owls. Anything with bear in the name.
Yeah, the thing with Tabaxis is all the fur is consistently not furry. It's closer cropped fur for Tabaxis, just from all the Tabaxi minis that I own. And how they look. They don't really have it's not like someone took a Hemming one and be like, okay, you would make a great Tabaxi. Let's get that lovely fluffy mane going.
Yeah.
They're more like, short hair cats type of fur. Knolls would be fun too. They have more of a bristly effect to the fur.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's plenty of Knolls in the game, that's for sure.
Knoll. Mm-hmm.
No, regular Knoll. Mm-hmm. And yeah, both of you mentioned werewolves. Werewolves that would, at least in my mind, werewolves have lots of hair. They are not short-haired creatures.
Exactly. I mean, there's a really cool. It's still technically Wizards related, but it's a Magic the Gathering wolf.
Oh, interesting.
Do I have it? It's somewhere over there. It's a very large miniature, but the fur details, it actually would be a great one to show how to do fur details and everything. But it is a wolf miniature, a wolf form, I should say. Why am I forgetting its name?
Because we're on stream and you're trying to remember something.
I'm trying to remember other things, and now my brain's like, yeah, no.
You didn't need to know that specific information, did you? Well, even though it's a magic,
you don't need.
Yeah, even though it's a magic card, it is very possible that creature is somewhere in D&D. So,
right,
because there's enough crossover at this point, it's always worth a look.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have quite a few Magic the Gathering cards set in the Forgotten Realms because I just started collecting them because I really liked the art.
The art is stunning. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, so good. Have I actually played Magic with any of those?
Nope.
No. That's not the point. That is not the point. Or
there's playing Magic the Gathering with the cards, and then there is appreciating Magic the Gathering because of the cards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely of the second group.
Sorry, I had to respond to something, and the paintbrush just went into the mouth.
Yeah, it's fair.
Sir Luke also suggests Marmadark. Okay, all right. So Marmadark. Yeah, he's a he's the Hound of Ill Omen. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a I mean, you'd be the expert if there is a specific mini for the Hound of Ill Omen, but I suspect not, but there might be a Hellhound. Although I don't know how that's going to be like short-haired dog anyway.
Yeah, that's just it. Like anything that comes in the hellish category, they tend to keep them more cropped and bristled and like hackles up type of sculpt.
Because you're in the 9 hells or in the abyss. You're somewhere where having a lot of hair is not good.
Right? I'm still here.
Full Squeaky has a very interesting suggestion. They specifically say Alicia's familiar, Misty.
Misty?
That's a
That would be a
will-o-wisp.
kit bash. Yeah.
That would be, but that's kind of, that is exactly
Okay,
what we're
so
looking for, honestly.
this is the Magic the Gathering, but this is a sizable miniature.
Ooh,
This
this
one
is
also, I
big.
took all the arrows out because I'm gonna have a version with the arrows and a version without the arrows for reasons. But normally it has arrows sticking out. And this is from a Magic the Gathering card, and I cannot remember what the name of this creature is. But you want a good fur tutorial, this has beautiful fur details on it. So just food for thought. Food for thought. We could argue that we take out the arrows and we just make it Desmond's werewolf form.
That's, I mean, you're laughing, but that could work. Desmond's form, or that work better for Desmond, but that could also be the kind of thing of for Fen. If we ever wanted to do like a real
or Dread
awesome
form with, then we'd have to put wings on. Oh god.
Yeah,
that's
Fen
would be
mini. Yeah, Fen would take a lot more kit bashing than even Orkira, but that could be super cool. But yeah, I mean,
that could be fun.
I think I got all the faces.
Yep. Now we want all the faces to dry.
We brought up Desmond just as Sir Luke was typing it.
Oh, hey, listen, funny.
Great minds, right?
Exactly. Okay, so when you set your many faces aside, we're gonna go back to our quadrone, and you're gonna want not hammered, bright bronze, and we're gonna take
You got this.
Nope. We're going to take the bright bronze and dry brush it onto where there's metal details on this quadrone. Good lord, it's like I started stumbling over brush before I can get bright bronze out of my mouth.
Roscoe Vika says Androsphinx is fairly furry and has a big mane. That's true. Mm-hmm. Also, at least the Fizban's version of the lion drake does have fur, and the males have manes. I'm also looking up a monster that's essentially a ball of fur, but I can't remember what it's called. And Lurking Rider went where I went, which is Tribbles.
Mm-hmm. I totally just like that the phrase essentially a ball of fur.
Mm-hmm. Ball
I'm here for
fur.
this description. I'm here for this. Essentially a ball of fur.
Listen, D&D monsters get weird. Okay.
Yeah, but in the best of ways.
I've completely forgotten. Where are we dry brushing this again?
Where the creature is metal. So avoid the wings and the arrow and the bow.
Okay.
And basically just get everything else.
Okay. You said all of that, and most of it left my brain as soon as I started to get it ready. Yeah.
No worries. No worries at all, really. But this is going to get a nice metallic sheen going where the body is metal.
Yeah, it is. It's too bad there isn't a will-o-wisp familiar or a will-o-wisp mini, because that would kind of be the perfect furry thing.
They are, but they are so small because they're technically tiny.
Yeah.
And they're clustered together. So it's not quite what we could do with Misty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that a familiar quest, the vast majority of those creatures are very small.
Yeah.
And in canon, very small. Like, it's not just that they're playing small creatures. Mm-hmm. They are small creatures. I think Scotty was the biggest of them, and Scotty would have been small.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Scotty's a medium-sized dog.
No, definitely not.
Perhaps. Yeah, Roscoe, there are 3 billion monsters, D&D monsters out there. Also, there's 3,000,000,001 monsters that are from older editions.
Mm-hmm.
That
there's third-party monsters.
Yeah, that haven't been brought over yet. So it's very, like, I get you said I might be remembering wrong. Like, I get that. I, on a regular basis, I'm like, oh yeah, this thing. And then I'm like, oh no, that's a 4th edition thing.
Right?
Nope, that's not a current thing yet. And I have to go
Yep.
looking. I have to be like, okay, wait, this thing was cool. Is it in 5th edition yet? And then I get the name wrong. And then, oh yeah, it is the joy of having a game that's been out for as long as D&D has.
Yeah. And very creative people adding things to it along the way.
Exactly. Yeah, Lurking Rider says, trying to restrict it to just 5th edition is hard enough, let alone going through previous edition lists. Yeah, and we've been running into a similar problem on the Sketching Hour, where there are only so many 5th edition monsters, and but you know what? There's enough that when it's time for us to start, we've had to quote unquote. Oh, it's so awful. We have to start using dragons again.
Oh no.
Oh no. There's still plenty of opportunities, like of grabbing monsters that have come up in Sketching Hour but didn't get like a full due, like dragons. Honestly,
Right.
like we've started putting out like the individual colored dragons just because they are unique enough.
Right, yeah.
So yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, and then some of the stuff is just okay. I asked the artist, like, are there any monsters that we've already done that you want back on the menu? Because they're the ones that have to draw them. So
true. Very true.
That's how we ended up with unicorn on the list again. But it's been a very long time. It's a unicorn, absolutely, and it's been a very long time. Yeah. Since we even did the unicorn at first. So we also added back. Good. Oh yeah. We added back all of the creatures that were part of Tiawat.
Oh, fun.
As amazing as Tiawat is, right. Those creatures should get a second chance at being the one in charge
feature. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, I'm trying to figure out if I've gotten all the spots.
So this is kind of what you end up with. This little metally box boy.
Yeah.
And we're going to let that one dry now. Ta-dum. And then we're going to go back to Elfic Flesh and we're going to dry brush the faces and the body of the Pentadrone. So the petal, the face, the legs, all of it.
Petal of the face and the legs.
Yep. No, that's one way. I want Elfic Flesh. Gotta go. No hurty.
There you are.
No hurty hurt.
I put the modron with the wings down and then I tried to reach over the wings. That was my fault.
Oops.
I shouldn't have done that.
I had ideas. I changed my idea.
Well, welcome, Mike Islay.
Hi.
I'm glad that you're enjoying the minis. I'm glad that if you want to paint along with us. I'm the person who is learning how to paint. So I've been lucky enough to now have 72 episodes worth of painting instruction by a master. So
I mean, you're picking it up.
I think
you're at this point you're definitely intermediate. At this point you're an intermediate painter.
Well, thank you. I feel like the next step would be to actually
homework assignment.
Not do a mini on my own, but essentially do a mini on my own. Like
right.
Without
guided.
Yeah. Okay, so the legs, the petals.
The legs, the petals, the face. Basically everything. Oh heck, we could just do no, because the base, I want to do something else. So everything but the base.
Okay.
There we go. We're not all about the base for this round of treatment.
Nope, not yet.
Yep. And I'm just doing a very light treatment to really bring out the edges. That's the fun thing with these metallic minis, is just really helping those edges pop.
Definitely on a modron, there's a lot of edges.
Exactly.
Even ones like this that have more rounded stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, Cypher here. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Oh, we
Hello.
are at the 1 hour mark, so we do have
We are.
lots of new folks coming on in, especially
Yes.
from the game. Welcome. We're working on 2 different modrons. We've got the Pentadrone listed on the bottom, but we've also got that little
Quadrone.
guy right there.
Yeah. We're working our way up the chain of command. Is
I
what's going on here.
I love this idea of us creating an entire modron army.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what would be left after this?
I would honestly have to look to
I'd
check.
have to look it up too. Quick, someone in chat, help us, help! You are
Because I know it's mono, duo, tri, quad, penta.
I think there's a hexa.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it stops, and I also don't
remember where it
remember
stops,
offhand, because I think there's a couple levels that are only ever mentioned, but they don't have a stat block or anything.
Yeah.
And then you make it all the way to Mechanus. And you know, how many times do you get a chance to paint a godlike creature?
A mechanical god. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Hexa, yeah. Question is are those around? Trust me, 2 years of Latin, I very much remember the numbering stuff. Oh boy.
I always wanted to take Latin, but for various and sundry reasons, it just never worked out. And I ended up taking French because I thought it would help more because I lived close to
That's a logical jump. Yeah, but I follow that thought process completely.
Yeah, I just now knowing what I know now, I wish someone had been like, hey, yeah, so we're close to Canada, sure. But have you thought about Spanish and how many more people speak Spanish along a different border? And have you thought about, well, have you thought about Latin? Also, it's Quebecois. We're near Quebec. Do you really want to learn Quebecois? I'm looking through the chat to see. Sailnit. I took Latin so I could speak with dead people. I mean,
I speak with dead people.
There's a lot to read in Latin. It is like Ghostwalker 71. It's a must for necromancy. Yeah, I mean,
it's a dead language. Ding.
Coffeena says I'm learning Japanese at the moment. Don't ask me why. I just always want to learn Japanese. I mean, that's as good as any reason to learn a language. I was going to say,
just you want to learn Japanese. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't think you need more reason than that. You want to learn it. Awesome.
There is always going to be an opportunity to use a language that you can learn. And I'm not saying I mean, I don't remember enough French to say that I can use it in any way, shape, or form. But like, it's not that French wasn't a good idea. I just didn't have a strong inclination either way when I was offered French and Spanish, and the reasons to take French were not as strong as the reasons to take Spanish. I realize now. But hey, I would have, if I was good at learning languages, I would learn both. I would learn it all, but Duolingo is very cross with me.
Oh no.
Yeah. I keep trying. I was trying to do German for a while because my partner speaks German, and it's kind of Swiss German, but German. Which was fun because he knows mostly Swiss German and I was learning German, and we would discover along the way all of the pronunciations and words that are different enough.
Yep. We went into a similar thing in Italy. You get very northern Italian, which has influences from other countries that are, nearby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I many years ago, when I was still doing a bunch of Duolingo for German, I was working at a stage theater that one of the wonderful people in the box office actually spoke German fluently. And
Ooh,
so I
fun.
was telling her about, my husband once lived out in Switzerland and learned German and blah blah blah. And he came on in at one point, and so they started they try, his German is a little
Sprechen
rusty,
the
but
Deutsch.
yeah. Well, and there was moments in where she would just like cock her head at him and go, "What? No,
Oh,
you're not allowed to say it like that."
oh, funny.
Oh, we got more suggestions. Hold on.
Ooh.
Roscoe Vika says this is probably my final suggestion. Hey, if you come up with more, always happy. I found the fur ball I was looking for, a chorid.
Horrid.
They are like, imagine a medium-sized ball of fur with a face and legs. Other furry monsters I came across was the crag cat and the catoblepus.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, the catoblepus.
Huh.
Catoblepus is one of those monsters that the CR rating is very deceptive with how dangerous that can be.
Now my mind's just going to call it a cattywampus.
I mean, yeah, if you called that in one of my games, if I plunked that monster down in front of you, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad.
My brain does that so much, though. Like, there's just different words that stick in my head to help me remember other things.
Yeah.
So, catoblepus is a cattywampus.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Sahuagin or Sheboygan.
That's a Sahuagin.
Yep. But yeah, all that sort of thing. Okay.
Okay.
So this is where we are at this point. So we're going to let that be. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Let it be.
Let it be. So then we're going to go in and with a little bit of black, we're going to mix a touch of black with some elfic flesh, and that way we can do the tip of the arrow and also around where this is being grasped, the handle of the bow.
So more elfic flesh than black, it sounds like? Way more?
You want to shoot for like a muddy gray.
Okay.
I'll give you a sample in just a second once I get it mixed up. Do. All right.
I need more elfic flesh. I can already tell. I know you said muddy gray, but I know the black is
like that.
I'm close. I just got a little too much black.
That's fair.
It is
a nice thin layer onto the tip of the arrow.
There we go. Where are my tiny brushes? Come here, tiny brush.
Tiny brushes.
On my desk.
Uh-huh.
All right, so you said tip of the arrow.
Yep. And also the handle of the bow.
All right, now that we're getting into these details, this is going to be those moments in where we might get a little quiet every now and then.
Little less verbose.
Yeah, it's just how it works. As soon as you get tiny, people get quiet. Okay, I want to make sure I'm just taking a second to look at this because the hand.
Yeah, you have to be careful where the hand wraps around at the upper portion.
Yeah.
But I wanted to wait on doing this part because trying to work around the handle while putting metal onto the hand was going to be very interesting.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Ghostwalker71 says, I forget to breathe when I hyperfocus on things like that. Yeah, that can happen to me too.
Yeah, that's why I like to say count to 10 and breathe. Count to 10 and breathe. The fun thing is how I'm going to get here.
Oh, yeah, in the
Can't
back.
hit it. Yeah.
Haven't quite gotten there yet. I'm still carefully going around the fingertips.
Fair.
Mm-mm.
Totally fair. Okay.
I tend to be better at remembering to breathe when I have to get really close to my light source here, because then I just instinctually know that I'm going to hear my own breath back at me, if that makes sense. And so if I don't hear my own breath back at me from being so close to the light,
back it up.
It feels weird. So I'm like,
that makes sense though.
I need to breathe.
Yeah, that does make sense. All right, so there's that. And then I'm going to let you choose your own adventure because we have a whole bunch of different colors already pulled out ahead of time. I'm going to go for water elemental and just do the feathery bits back here in the water elemental, just for a fun little pop of color. But you're welcome to do whatever color you'd like.
I like the idea of blue. Blue is going to be one of those colors that I don't think we're going to use anywhere else on this mini.
That's just it. It doesn't really have many opportunities for this little mini. It doesn't have a lot of opportunities for different colors, so I thought here would be a fun area.
Where did I put you? Blue. There you are. Oh, this is also an opportunity to stretch. Remember, everybody, breathe, stretch, and drink some water. Hey, also go to our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions.
Wee. And really, I'm just putting this along the edging, not necessarily doing a full coat. Just to add that touch of color, but still keep. Yeah.
Almost dry brushing kind of thing?
Almost dry brushing. Hello, Miss Thing. Yes, hello.
Oh, which cat do we got now?
Rory. If I say Miss Thing, it's always Rory. Little Miss Thing.
Helga Pete has an off-topic question. Hey, listen.
I mean, is there really off-topic for this show?
Honestly, I know it's not going to be since I see the very beginning of this question. But I appreciate it's off-topic from painting, but recently started to listen to the Heroes of the Plains podcast, and the characters, including Orkira, keep bringing up that stuff they had done before with disrupting timelines. Which show to watch to get those stories from before? The big one being, if you're listening to Heroes of the Plains, it'd be Heroes of the Vale and Beyond Heroes. I talked about it at the beginning. It was one of the first questions that came up. So I won't go through the whole thing again because it's you don't necessarily have to go back and listen to all that in order to get what's going on in Heroes of the Plains. We do try to reduce the amount of time that you have, because we were playing those characters for like 3 years. So that's a lot of shows.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
But yeah, there's some timey-wimey stuff that happens. I think that's
timey-wimey.
Yeah. We all learned very fast about how awful dealing with the time stream can be. And despite the fact that we tried not to, we still ended up having to. So, but yes, go look for Heroes of the Vale and Beyond Heroes, and that will get you most of the history. But like I said, and there should be podcasts for those as well. And if there are not, I will be perturbed because I was the one that made those podcasts happen.
So for the spyglass, I put in a dot of that water elemental, and then I took a little bit of velvet flesh, and I just did a streak across to have it look like a little glare on the glass. And then we're going to let this guy dry a little bit more. Because I don't want to try and do eye work with the blue still drying. That would be big.
No, absolutely. Oh, hey, Helga Pete, thank you. I am always very happy and honored that anyone would be interested in watching our adventures, and it is absolutely my pleasure.
Yay!
It usually is one of those in where I need to be very conscious to stop talking about Orkira, or else I will be that person who just continuously talks about one of my characters.
Okay, and then we're gonna go back to hammered copper once you're ready.
Yeah, I'm just finishing up the
Nope, totally fair.
little circle spyglass. Almost.
Do.
Okay, there we go. We're going back to hammered copper, you said.
We're gonna go over to hammered copper, and we're going to. Mine's actually super runny. If it's not runny, I would add just a little bit of water. I will say that. And I'm going to paint this onto the legs, not this beehive bit, but onto the legs. Okay, all 5 legs and the back of all 5 petals.
Okay.
So the back of the petals and the legs will get this hammered copper.
All right. Let's see. Fitzroy Wrights asks, on the same off topic, is there a live show tonight? If you're asking in general, for any of the characters that I was talking about, no. Pixel Circus is on tonight. That's the show that the third-party show that we usually send an alert out to. So if you've been having fun with Failed Save, they should be on. Trying to find a brush and also talk apparently was not something I was able to do. So yes, Pixel Circus should be on tonight. There should be an in-game alert for that when it happens. Let's see. The other, there will be alerts on Sunday for Rivals of Waterdeep. It is their penultimate episode.
Oh my gosh.
My heart.
Can't believe that is being said.
And for D4, so you'll get in-game alerts for those. If there's a specific show you're asking about, let me know and I'll do my best to find out. I watch a lot of streams. And we support quite a few.
Me too.
And then specifically after us, there is going to be one more show. There should be Failed Save after us. Although that is not a D&D show. It is an awesome show, especially if you are looking, not Failed Save, Formation Save. Failed Save is the show that's the D&D show that's tonight. Formation Save.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, did we get another one?
No, that's just me. Whoopsies. So yeah, after us, you can enjoy Sean helping out your formations and also answering questions. Man, this is a weirdly runny. Like, it's not traditionally runny. It's like it separates and gets runny.
Yep.
He said not the beehive in the middle.
Kind of to not the beehive in the middle.
Okay.
The runniness is to our advantage because it's doing what I want it to do and not leaving a very thick coat.
True, but it's definitely, I feel like I want to remix it on the paper plate.
Right? I mean, you can homogenize it a little bit more and mix it if you want to.
Well, at the moment,
things too much.
It's not like some stuff in where when it separates like that, like it just looks like some of the water is separated.
It's like a metallic slurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, slurry is such a fun word.
I love it.
It is a good word. And yes, I agree, Lurking Rider. It's sad that Rivals is ending, but they've had a wonderfully long run. And it's nice that they're able to kind of plan ahead their ending and the last couple of episodes and feel out where their characters want to go, because there's a very collaborative show because of the fact that they trade off who is DMing. And this final season, they've been trading off every single episode, which has been fascinating to watch really fun. I mean, if you wanted any more proof that D&D is a collaborative art form and it is not the DM versus the players, and that's actually one of the best ways to play, this last season of Rivals is picture
It's a
proof.
testament.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Man, there are some fun, and by fun I mean not really fun angles to try and get through with these legs.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna need to go. I'm going around this way, and I feel like I'm gonna need to then go
Rotate the other
clockwise,
way. Yep.
and then go counterclockwise. Yep, just so I don't miss anything.
Yep. Oh my goodness me. Where am I? Where did I leave off? I don't remember now.
The Spy 149. For Rivals, unfortunately, this is their last
This
season.
is it,
They are coming to a close.
It is the denouement.
Yep. But it's been awesome to watch, and that's probably one of the other good things about trading off DMs is each of these episodes have been a little more bespoke as far as their content because of the very frequent trading off. So you can kind of watch right now and just enjoy and jump in, and then see if you haven't watched any of Rivals and all you know them from is from the game or from Idle Champions Presents, you can absolutely jump in and just watch an episode and get a really good idea of these characters and see if you want to go back and watch the whole thing, which I highly recommend.
Yep. It's a good thing in that respect.
Type.
That part's good. The ending part, hey.
Yeah.
I have the post face.
I think I got the legs. I will probably find more places as I go. Right. But then you said the inside of the pedals.
The underside of the pedals. We want to get those too.
Okay. All right, pedals. Here we go. Let's do this.
Okay. Man, this is leggy. Sometimes like there's too many elbows. I'm like, this is almost too many legs.
So would these pedals be considered legs or arms? Like,
I don't know.
Are we dealing with a bunch of armpits at the moment, or are the pedals something else entirely?
At this point, yes.
Okay.
I'm at this point like, yes, it's a yes. I don't know. I truly don't know how I would classify this part of the Pentadrone.
Either way, I'm still going to call them armpits, and they're hard to get at. In the grand tradition of armpits, they are the pits.
Pentapits. They are the pits. They absolutely. Where was I? Oh my goodness. Hold on. This is not the pedal you were looking for.
No. Oh, sorry for those of you who might have heard my stomach growl there.
Yeah, well, you have a yummy meal coming up, so.
Yeah, I usually try to eat lunch before this show, but a poke place just opened up near us. And it didn't open until 11, and I didn't want to rush through getting it, so we're going for lunch afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am excited, but if you hear my stomach grumbling, no, you don't.
Blame me. It's almost dinner time on my side. It was my tumbly grumbly.
Yeah, all the grumble tumbles. Lurking Rider does have an interesting suggestion. Just call them limbs.
Limbs? Oh, jeez.
Limbs. That does
limbs?
solve the problem of what is it? It's a limb.
Can I call them flappages? Like flappy appendages?
I mean, you can.
No, I wanna.
I mean, I think we have to now. Flappages. I feel.
Oh boy.
I feel so wrong saying it, and yet it's amazing, and I'm gonna. Flappages. Yep. That's what they are. They're no longer pedals. They're
They're
flappages.
flappages.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, if we could ask Mechanus, I'm sure he would tell us. They would tell us? I'm sure we would be told by Mechanus exactly what those things are called. But until that day, and where Mechanus decides to grace us with their presence, flappages.
Uh-huh. All right, now show of hands. Who envisions or hears rather Mechanus's voice as Optimus Prime? Because for me, when I read the lore, I'm like, so it's Optimus Prime.
You know, I kind of did up until the most recent Idle Champions Presents. Oh, King of Old immediately. Hand up. Coffina. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Graphic Wolf. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Lurking Rider is 100% right. Peter Cullen should 100% be the voice. I'm totally behind this. If there was ever a reason to have someone voice Mechanus, absolutely. I kind of changed my mind after I heard Mark with the Allspark for Heroes of Erois,
Mm-hmm.
because that's so damn perfect. And so now I imagine Mechanus more as a much more calm and stoic version, almost no emotion, almost emotionless, but more monotone than that. So not completely Optimus Prime, but basically like, yeah, it's hard to describe. Peter Cullen mixed with
Severus Snape.
well,
Going for the monotone thing.
Well, who's the guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Bueller.
Oh, Bueller. Mm-hmm.
Like a mix of those two. Like the deep, impressive voice, but just talking in very clear monotone.
Mm-hmm.
Epic voice
That's
said
fair.
in unepic ways. Oh, did I get that side of the pedal? Yes, I did. Okay.
I'm playing that same game.
Yeah, a couple of these pedals. That's right. I'm sorry, flappage. A couple of these flappages are hard to see and reach.
Yep. I am contorting today, which normally I don't do too much. But between camera and angles, it's been interesting.
I'm doing the same thing. I think it's something about this being a roundish mini, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I keep having to, no, I don't need to contort that way. There's a light source.
Right? But apparently I do.
Ben Stein. Thank you, Graphic
There
Wolf.
we go.
That name was on the tip of my brain. I could remember Ferris Bueller, but I couldn't remember Ben Stein. So yeah, picture Ben Stein and Peter Cullen as Mechanus. Do a little bit of that melding of the two voices with a little bit of electronic stuff. And that's where I'm going.
That makes sense.
But I wouldn't be mad if it's just that. Yeah, if it ended up just being Peter Cullen straight as Optimus Prime. I'm not mad.
Nope. I just wondered. It was one of those things I'm like, am I the only one who hears this particular voice for this particular bit of lore?
Nope, you're all good. Also at this point, if for some reason there was another Dungeons and Dragons movie that had to do with Mechanus and we needed a voice for it, I'd also be 100% behind Mark Hulmes doing their Allspark till we are one. You know, Autobots roll out. I'd be there for that too.
Yeah. Bring it. My goodness.
Oh, Lurking Rider also suggests Leonard Nimoy or David Warner.
Oh, interesting.
Those are also good suggestions.
I like how we're casting this creature of lore.
Yeah. Well, even if we're not talking about a movie, like if you are a dungeon master and you're considering having modrons or mechanists show up in your game, then thinking about the voice you want to use is very helpful. And even if it's not an exact version of that voice, because let's face it, I'm never going to sound like Peter Cullen. I'm never going to sound like Ben Stein or Leonard Nimoy or Optimus Prime, but just thinking about it and doing my best to emulate that helps give a voice that I can at least keep consistent, even if it doesn't sound anything like them. There you go. The D&D advice in the middle of this. All right.
I like it.
I think.
How you doing?
I think I got all the legs and all the pedals. All the flappies.
Therefore I am.
Oh, nope, there's a corner I missed.
Oh no.
That's a back of one of the feet. Nope, their shoes must also have the correct color on them. I mean, I guess they're not shoes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so past V was being clever.
I love how you said that. My retort is V is always clever, but the way you said that was so like, why was I clever?
Like, why was I doing this to myself?
What did I do?
I get what I'm doing, but why? So what I have in my notes is going to the beehive and then basically alternating each layer between the bright bronze and the glorious gold. I know why I'm doing this on the beehive, because it's going to make each of those layers pop a little bit more because the colors are kind of close, but not exactly enough. It's just fiddly. That's why I'm annoyed at myself. I'm like, I gave myself fiddly work. So, yeah, you're going to want to grab bright bronze and glorious gold. I would start with bright bronze and then paint every other layer and then go back in with glorious gold.
And this is, once again, painting, not dry brushing.
Painting, yeah.
Okay.
There's the bright bronze. I know why I did this. I know why I did this. But previous self, why?
I mean, you can always change your mind. You could always.
I know. The thing is like, oh, this is a rarity I can say. I know I'm right. I just don't want to be.
I know I'm right. I'm just unhappy about it.
I just don't want.
Geesh, V, why do you always have to be so good at your job? Why do you always have to be
right? I'm starting the layer here. Okay, because it looks like there's.
I don't know why I'm turning in this direction like it's gonna help.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers essentially. So start there and go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Are we counting the base of the beehive as layer 5?
Yes. The underside is layer 5.
Okay, then I know what I am doing. How often do I get to say that? Not often enough. Yeah, so Sir Luke says, Lauren, it's like leaning during racing games. Yeah, I'll play a first-person shooter, and I will.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do a lot of leaning during that. Especially in games where there's not a leaning mechanic. Like, you know, I'm a Halo fan. There's no leaning in it. You can't tell Master Chief to like peek around a corner. So it's just a lot of me. I hear them. I can't see them.
Oh, too funny.
Oh, Kane Tears 01 asks, what type of paint are you using?
The D&D prismatic paints from Vallejo and WizKids basically is the collaboration for that set.
Yeah.
And they're a lot of fun. A lot of the paint names have like clever monster names attached to them and everything like that. So Vallejo paints with D&D names basically.
And they can look deceptively small, like small bottles. but there's a lot in these bottles.
A little
and
goes a very long way.
yeah, especially since some of them involve watering down or require watering down, basically.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
They do.
And they're acrylic, in
Yes.
case people were wondering. But if you've got other paints at home, you're more than welcome to join along. There's usually, if you've got a set, there's usually something close enough for your purposes. You can mix up paints. We've got in our discord.gg/idlechampions, a entire paint and slay channel where you can find in the pinned stuff the information on each of the minis that we've done and what's required, what we use for those minis. But there's also a, hey, if you would like to follow along with us, here's just a basic set of brushes, here's a basic paint set, get some paper towels and paper plates, and you're good to go. And a mini.
Yeah. And a mini.
Okay. Back to the beehive.
Bees.
Not the
I'm gonna name this Beatrice.
Aww.
Her name is Beatrice. Beatrice the Pentadrone.
I haven't thought of a name yet, but I will. It will happen. Or I'll just steal one from chat. Someone in chat will say something clever, and I'll be like, yep, that's it. That's the name of my modron now.
We have a name.
Okay, I think... Yeah, I think I got the bright bronze.
Okay.
So the idea is like wait a little bit for it to dry and then do glorious gold?
Yeah, then glorious gold on the pieces that you didn't get yet. Oh, this camera is adding a whole other element of trying to look around. I have to go out from under frame. I cannot reach these angles with the extra.
That's fine. This is an appropriate time for me to remind everybody that while we may have slightly wonky setups so that you can watch and we can paint on stream, when you set up your painting area, do your best to have it be as ergonomic as possible. Try to not lean over. Try to have a light source real close and above what you're doing. Remember to stretch and move around, because you can get into that zen of painting, and the next thing you know, you've just been like crouched over sideways for 3 hours. So absolutely set things up in the most ergonomic way that you can with what you got.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let me put that back before I confuse all these metallics I have out in front of me.
Also, we're down to our last like 15-20 minutes-ish. So if you do have any last questions, go ahead and put those in chat so that Gabe can grab those and put those in our little backstage document. Just put question in big capital letters before it so that he knows to grab it. All right. Glorious gold.
Now going back in with glorious gold and getting. Does that even show up?
It's showing up a little bit, yeah. I'm also just watching where you're...
It's more the angle that makes it tricky. But it's just a different enough of a color where it kind of gives each of these segments a little more oomph by alternating those two. Like I said, I know why I did this in my notes in the past. I get it. It's just so fiddly.
It's so fiddly.
It's worth it. It's just fiddly. Fiddle-dee-dee.
Yeah. Well, if any of our minis deserve to be a little fiddly, it would be a modron. It would want to be exacting.
This is true.
Detail oriented. Oh, that's still a little wet with the bronze.
All right, so that's what it looks like when you get all the segments painted up.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, these petals. The flappages, I should say.
Beautiful flappages.
Not so much. I want to lift them up as if I'm like struggling. I'm like, please, can I just
Right?
lift this? Like, why wasn't it hinged?
Mm-hmm.
The lack of
This would
hinges
have
is
been
making me come unhinged.
an interesting framework. And I could see
Yeah.
why it's not and
Yeah.
how that would have its own problems, but that definitely this is
Boy,
definitely an
howdy.
interesting
Yeah.
mini that even if it was just the legs and the beehive and then the top and the petals as a separate piece so that you could like
Yeah.
paint inside it like a
That would
flower,
have been helpful. Yep.
that'd be super cool.
Thankfully, I fussified it, so I did all the fussy things first, knowing that the inner parts would be harder to paint.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Also, the lurking writer, surely the fiddliest of minis would be a bard with a violin.
womp 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 womp.
Of course.
You are technically correct.
Mm-hmm. Which is the best kind of correct.
That's kind of correct, exactly.
Full Squeaky says, I'm using the WizKids basic set. Had to mix a couple of paints, but it's close enough for me and fun to play with.
There you
Absolutely.
go. There you go.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, we're using specific paints, but in the end, it's a red, an orange, a yellow, green, a blue. It's a mixing up of a purple, it's a brown, it's, we've got glorious
Exactly.
gold, but if you've got a gold, or if you've got something to, a metallic, if you've got, it doesn't have to be exact, you just have to be happy with it.
Mm-hmm. There we go. That's the whole thing painted up there.
Very cool.
Yeah. So it's fun.
I've also just realized
it's worth it. What?
It's totally worth it. I just realized also, you did not paint the fleshy bits. You did not include what I thought was a nose. It's not the end of the world, but I realized that like as you're doing a turnaround, you see how okay.
like because these are like eyes. Those are gonna be eyeballs.
Yeah, it's just funny. I'm like, oh, I painted those noses. Okay, well, okay.
If you want to treat them as noses, you can treat them as noses.
That's what I thought they were. I'm like every other one has, all of them have noses, and then every other one also has eyes.
Yep.
That's the way I saw it anyway.
I mean, that's fair.
Anyway, what's our last thing before we've got to go?
That's what I'm trying to look at.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's paint this finial top, this part with bright bronze, since we have that out.
Okay. I'm
trying to think of like not having to dip into another paint. It's the one that isn't the very gold that we just used.
Yeah. I just got to remix it a little bit. Paint the whole top, including the little antenna, or just the...
Yep, including the antenna.
Cool. What did you call this again? A Phineas top?
Finial.
Mm-hmm. What is a finial?
It's pulling from like decorating stuff. Finial's like this decorative bit that can go on top of rods and at the end of curtain rods and things like that. So staircase posts, things like that.
For edges and endings and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah. So I just called it the finial top. I'm like, I don't know, it's a finial top.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I love how shiny these modrons all get. I love that it's so much.
Yeah.
It's such a distinct departure from so many of the other minis that we do.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's just fun to have all the shiny bits.
Yeah.
I mean, even at this point where it's not totally shiny yet, we're just starting to put on some of the metallics. I'm just very happy. Oh, yay, it's shiny.
Shiny. Homework assignment. Go watch Moana.
Again, you mean?
A very good song. Yes, absolutely again. I don't care if you've seen it before, you're gonna watch it again and
And you're
pay
gonna
attention
like
to a
it.
certain episode. Or a certain song, not episode.
A certain episode of the movie.
Yes.
Exactly
that.
My Finio is finished.
I'm almost done. I have a little section left here. But I needed to rinse my brush because apparently it's starting to get warm enough where the paint's drying faster than I'm painting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's why I'm super happy about the AC that we've got going, because otherwise it'd be kind of miserable in this room right now.
Yeah. All right.
And you can already see the sun coming through a little bit on that side.
Here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So I think this is definitely a good stopping point, and we'll obviously face more outward now next week. We'll finish up the Pentadrone's outer flappages, and we'll finish up the Quadrone just in general. The Quadrone's in pretty good progress. We have just a couple little detail things like the eyeballs and the bow and the arrow shaft itself and the base. Otherwise, it's pretty much going to be ready for a nice little umber wash when we're done.
Yeah.
And then the Pentadrone, we're going to start pulling in the colors from the awful ones on the plates that run down here. So that'll be something fun to do as well. But we're definitely getting there, folks. We are getting there, and I'm excited for it. But while you wait for next week, don't forget there's cool stuff happening in the game right now. Like, if you missed the beginning, can we talk about this oh my goshness? This just makes me happy. This is my end of the week joy.
I wish I could say that I wore this shirt on purpose, but I did not. Yeah.
I'm going to say subconsciously you did. Your subconscious knew, and it's like, yes, let's do it. So yeah, check this one out. It's in the in-game store. Erin helped us pull together this hysterically fun skin from a hen. You want it. You know you do. Go check it out. So don't forget Giant mug. And then along with that skin...
Dragonborn are already big. Like Dragonborn average, like 6.5 feet tall. So keep that in mind when you're like, it's a big mug in Mahen's hand. And Mahen is
mug.
A large individual. I mean, technically they're medium creatures, but you know what I mean. So
a larger medium creature.
So good.
Yes. So we have that one, and then there's also the Modron, Antreus, and Nixie skins that you can get from the Thayan Enclave shop with those corrupted gems you can be collecting in the game this weekend, just saying. So give those a look, and as you can see, they've been having fun with Modrons. They're disguised type of situation. So you have like your one-man band, Antreus, like peeking out through the cardboard box.
It's and little bits of tape that are holding the pieces together.
And then Nixie's little fireball gear. Oh my gosh, those are just too much fun. So those, again, Thayan Enclave shop. Get that checked out this weekend. And Evandra, if you have not unlocked her yet, then log in now during the Great Modron March, and you can get Evandra to add to your Awful Ones crew. I mean, come on, it's a win-win all the way around. So we have that. And then... there's the weekend buff going on. So check that one out. You'll get your free magical transport gold chest if you are part of our newsletter list, which once a week we send you a newsletter letting you know what the weekend's going to be, and we give you free stuff. It's not a bad thing if you want to choose to sign up and get those emails every Friday type of situation. And I think that is everything for the game. And also Gabe, our wonderful Gabe, thank you so much for helping us out, moderating the chat today and snagging those questions and suggestions. Anything else that you can think of, Lauren?
Have a good weekend and have a safe and happy holiday if you are in a place that has a holiday weekend.
Fantastic. All right. That's it for this week. Have a good weekend. Bye.